Are you still struggling with old debts going into 2023? In this video, I will be explaining what is prescribed debt. My name is Thandokazi and I'm a credit repair coach. I've helped many of my clients to improve their credit scores from 500 to 600 points. Obviously, after we have disputed some of these old debts found in their credit reports. So do stay tuned on this video as I'm taking you through the process of how a debt can be prescribed or what qualifies any debt to be a prescribed debt. So let's get right onto it. So what happens then is that, to draw just a little bit of background to this video, is that, so assuming that you have opened a personal loan somewhere with Bank X and you were paying, but unfortunately, due to life's changing circumstances, whether you've lost your job, you were terminated, you were retrenched for whatever reasons known to you, but that renders you to be unable to honor the contract that you had between yourself and Bank X, and that results in you not being able to pay that particular personal loan. Okay, so what I always think of in this circumstance is that first options that are available to you is the credit life insurance that is attached to that personal loan that you were actually paying for it. But unfortunately, nobody tells us about these things. So what then happens when you take a personal loan, or any credit for that matter, there is an insurance portion that is added on the monthly installments, and you are the one that is paying for that. It protects you in case of retrenchment, in case of you losing your income, whether due to disability, critical illness, for whatever the terms and conditions of that insurance are. So once you are unable to make the payments, and as per your policy, you do meet the requirements, you can qualify to claim, then people should be doing that under normal circumstances, under a perfect world, obviously. But because we don't know these things, once you are unable to make those payments, then you keep quiet, you run away from those phone calls, you just don't know what to do. So what then the banks do, they will then try to collect from you. If they fail after a specific time, they then close their books and they write that debt as a bad debt. Okay, those that did accounting will know bad debt written off. So they will write that debt as a bad debt, and then they will sell those books of bad debts to debt collectors. So what then debt collectors would do, they will try to get as much as they can from you by calling you to say, hey, we are so and so, we want you to make payment arrangements of this debt. Do you know the debt? And you'd say, yes, I do know, but unfortunately, due to A, B, and C, I'm not able to make the payment. And they will reason with you to say, even if you make a 50 rands payment or 100 rands payment, just for you not to be listed on the credit bureaus or to be blacklisted, if I may borrow that term. Okay, and in actual fact, paying that 50 rands does not help anyway. Okay, because you are already written off as a bad debt one way or the other. You are already blacklisted. You are already blacklisted. So that's basically the process. Okay, that is a behind the scenes process that I was just trying to draw a picture to you to be able to understand how do we get to where we are now, talking about prescribed debt. Okay, so then what happens is that for a debt to qualify to be a prescribed debt is that, number one, that debt should have not been paid by you as a consumer for the past 3 years. Okay, I know some of you have got 2017 debts that you are still stressing about. You want to settle once you get a job, or you are paying a 50 rand towards that debt, or you are paying a 20 rand or a 10 rand towards that debt. So these are debts that are 3 years old. You have not paid for it for the past 3 years. But I think debt collectors are still not gonna rest. They're still gonna phone you even if it's been 3 years. Number two, that qualifies a debt to be a prescribed debt is that you have not acknowledged that debt. So when the debt collector phones you and says to you, do you know that you are owing Bank X? And you'll be like, yes, I do. that is acknowledging the debt. Okay, so if you have not acknowledged that debt, then number 2, you are close to prescription. Okay, and the last one is that if the creditor did not take any legal steps against you, okay, this is them, issuing summons, taking you to court because they want you, or putting a judgment on your name because they want you to pay their money. So if none of these have you ticking all these boxes, and the last one being the creditor not taking legal steps against you, then you are on the good grounds to start disputing that debt as a prescribed debt. Okay, remember that taking you to court is such a long process that is daunting, and really it's not worth it. Maybe it's a 5,000 rand credit card, it's a 10,000 rand credit card, and creditors really don't have time to be going back and forth to the courts for such small amount of money, and they just write it off and they claim from the insurance and they are done with you. Okay, so I feel like when you are paying that again with the debt collector, you paying that debt twice. You paying it for the second time because the creditor have claimed from the insurance for that debt, so they did not lose anything in actual sense by the fact that you did not pay that debt. That is why I think it's even easy for them to just write it off as a bad debt. Okay, so if you tick those 3 boxes, then that debt should prescribe. Okay, so this then most people are not able to do on their own, or they can't be able to do it on their own, and that is where we come in as credit repair coaches. We come in and we are able to dispute these prescribed debts on your behalf, and we dispute this information with all major bureaus in South Africa. And definitely, if you meet all these debts, that debt should be removed in your credit report. In fact, it should reflect as a closed account with 0 outstanding balance. Okay, and then for it to be removed, I know experience says that it must be 5 years that the report from the account from the last paid date. Yes, it must be more than 5 years, and then they can totally remove that account on your report. Okay, so but what is important then is that it should reflect as such on your credit report, should reflect as a closed account with 0 outstanding balance. Okay, once the dispute has been lodged and it has been successfully updated by all the major credit bureaus. So I really don't know what you guys are thinking going into 2023. Do you really want to go into 2023 with some prescribed debts that are dating back to 2015, 2017, 2012, you name, guys? You know what is in your credit report. You know what is in your credit report. Umntu inkosi uzazi isiXhosa sitsho and isiXhosa sitolikwa. So if you really feel like you do have one of those, prescribed debts that are blocking you from your way of, getting that dream house or getting that dream car, do drop us an email. Very important. Drop us an email and we'll be able to assess you and guide you as to what is happening with your credit profile and how best we can assist you to improve your credit score. So feel free to comment below on this video and say, hey, I raised my hand, I do have a problem with my credit report. I think I have a prescribed debt sitting there that is making my life difficult. So feel free, guys, to drop me an email. Go to my website at www.tandofinancialeducation.co.za. Alternatively, you can follow me on all my social media platforms, and do not forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out when I drop these videos every Wednesday evening. I'll see you guys on the next video. Goodbye.